I want to pay for your ticket, for your air ticket to and fro. As a young entrepreneur who wants to expand, also that's also one of the mistakes I see also young entrepreneurs will make. I found Zimbabwean people to really be reserved people. So you need to examine yourself. That's also one thing I can advise you. How can I make my services better? And maybe because with the internet and the AI, you can still support people even in other countries. Starting a business in Zimbabwe, it's one of the hardest things that I can tell someone, but it might have been very hard for me or from other people I know. Maybe for you it is very easier. Maybe you started a business, maybe you are trying to start it. But today I want to tell you what I really learned about starting a business in Zimbabwe. So if you are a young entrepreneur like the way I was back then, I'm still, when I was starting a business in Zimbabwe, I really wish before you start anything in Zimbabwe or Harare, I would want you to hear me so that maybe the lessons I got from when I went there, Harare and everything, trying to set up a business there as an African, you might be able to gain from my experience and maybe know what are the things you need to be aware of. If at the end of the video, I'll tell you even what kind of capital you need to really start a business in Zimbabwe as an African. So if you really want to start a business in Zimbabwe or are interested in establishing a business there, or you want to know, you want to plan maybe in the future to start something there as an African, maybe you are from Botswana, maybe you are from Malawi, maybe you are from East Africa like I am, I would really want you to really listen to this because it might save you money, time, or while you plan to go there, you might have the necessary knowledge which will really help you. So first of all, my name is Gad Kirenga. I'm the CEO of Genuine Kunga Therapy. It's a company that helps children with autism and ADHD or cerebral palsy and others. So, and I've been doing this for the last 15 years. So I'm based in Kenya. So I want to tell you what I learned about starting business in Zimbabwe. It was back in 2020, 2021, and I was excited. Maybe you might be excited like the way I was, because it was my second country in Africa to open a business in. So first of all, I was excited. Maybe you're also excited, but I remember back then I just started my business in another country, which I had expanded in another country, which I will tell you maybe in the next videos. But the first time I went to Zimbabwe, I actually got a customer. I got a customer. He had a child with neurodevelopmental issues, and they needed support. So I went there to assess the child and see. So because the customer told me that back then, he told me, for me, I don't have a problem. I don't want to come in the country where you are. I want to pay for your ticket, for your air ticket to and fro. And he called me. Back then I was operating in 2 countries. So I was in a country in Central Africa, near in the Central Africa Republic, in Bang. Actually, that's where I was. So when the customer called me, say, I saw the children you help and everything, and I really want you to help my child, but I don't want to come where you are. So I want you to come to me. So, and as a young entrepreneur who wants to expand, also that's one of the mistakes I see also young entrepreneurs will make. It's the fact that we lash a lot. We lash for opportunities, we lash for everything, we lash. So it's also one of the mistakes I think I've come to learn over the years of doing business, which I think you also need to learn. It's good to go for opportunities, but sometimes it's good not to scatter resources. What I mean by that, if you don't have yet capacity to serve a certain market, you can go, you support, but you come back where you are. So maybe we'll talk about that in the later. So I went there and I bought an airplane. I went there in Harare. And things were like, of course I was excited in Zimbabwe, Harare, and as someone who is leading a therapy house which is helping children, when you find that actually there's another market that wants you, here we are talking about Southern African countries. So it was really something which I was really looking forward to, and I was really excited. And of course, when I went there, and even the offer was good. The offer was good. It was a really good offer, because there was ticket, and also there was really. So I say, okay, if you can't come where I am, no problem. So we talked about the date when I can set up. I gave him an appointment. Then I went to Harare. So when I went to Harare, slept there. We were there in the Harare city, and he was really a good customer, and we really did our best to help him. But one thing which I can say, now I'm going to tell you the things which I learned about Zimbabwe and the Harare as a country, which might help you also as a young entrepreneur who is planning to maybe go there in Zimbabwe and start business. I did not find, I found Zimbabwean to be a little bit reserved. I don't know, but maybe you might not agree with my view, but for me, this is what I saw. First of all, the people themselves, I found they are a little bit reserved. So it was really hard for me as someone who is already not outgoing, someone who is also reserved. So it somehow became very difficult for me to really get to connect and everything. So if you are someone who is reserved like me, I think you need to consider about changing your character before you go to start business in Zimbabwe, or don't even go there, because you are going to deal with people. When you talk, no matter whatever business you are doing, there's one thing which will always be constant: the people you are dealing with. So wherever, if you are not a native in a certain country you are going to, and the people you are going to serve are reserved, you need to be the opposite. Because if you go and you are reserved and you're also reserved, negative to negative doesn't yield anything. So I found Zimbabwean people to really be reserved people. So for a person who is also reserved like the way I am, it really became difficult for me. So, but nevertheless, I'm someone who really go for something, and I really make sure that I put effort into something, that I make sure I did my best. So we helped the customer, and there we got also other people who needed the service, and I ended up actually opening a company there. So even visited different centers that has children with developmental issues, and we try to support. So, but still that thing of you are dealing with people who are reserved, you're also reserved, and you are the head. Another thing which I always like to advise my entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs, what I tell them, you need to go all out, and more importantly, you are the head. So if you are the head, there's something I like about Napoleon, which he said, if you want to do something very well, do it by yourself. There are things, if you have a business, there are things anyone can do in your company, but there are things you as the head you always do. So started a business there, and later on I went back and even sent some of our company employees to help us set up here and everything. Another thing which, if you are planning to go to Zimbabwe, which you might need to think about, it's not easy to really enter in Zimbabwe. You know, you might be surprised, but for sure it's very difficult to enter in a Zimbabwean airport, and there will always be something. I'm sorry, yeah. If you are a Zimbabwean and you are watching me, and you might not agree with what I'm saying, but I'm talking from experience. So I remember this actually the first employee we sent, it was really hard, and he had to come back. So she had to come back. And we planned again, and I told you I'm that person who really go all out on something which I'm set to do. So later I even asked, there is one day we had a forum, Rwanda, actually it was this AFCFTA, like where they were talking about like the common market for all African countries. So I attended that forum, and one of the questions I asked, I remember among the people asked question, I asked a minister from Zimbabwe, I said, why is it hard for Africans to really come and do? So you might be surprised that actually Zimbabwe would be like that, but for me, I'm talking from experience. So then I also tell you good things about Zimbabweans. So we started, and we opened in a place in Benz. It's a place in Zimbabwe, and the country is good, by the way. The country, when you look at the infrastructure, the roads, the buildings, they are really set in a way that if you had to plan for a certain city, let's say, you can see that the city was really planned for. The way this place is for shops, this one is for that, this one is for that. So there is really the place is really organized. But that thing of, if you are reserved, you need to think about it, because you might not maybe succeed. So then another lesson I learned from Zimbabwe, which might help you if you want to start anything there, I looked at Zimbabwean business sector as a favorable place for people with huge capitals, people with let's say above $500,000 and above, 1 million, 3 million, 5 million. Because some of my friends which we talked with even afterwards, and who wanted to invest there, and they ended up investing, they really got things really went very well. So I can say, if you are like Zimbabwean economy, it is built in a way that if you are a small business owner, and you know and that's an advice I can give you, if you know you are below $1 million, you need to think twice before you can you can start anything. That's what I can tell you, because not just me, even other people. So to make it the story short, I started the work there. We helped people, but later on, things you could see the conditions are really favorizing people with really huge capital, $5 million, $10 million. So if you know you are below $1 million capital, I would really advise you to think twice before you start a business in Zimbabwe. So maybe you might have to work on how to improve your capital, get funding from other people so that you can venture with other people so that you can make something which might really have a long lifespan and even be really successful. But if you are below $1 million, I really wouldn't advise you to start anything in Harare. So another thing which I really learned from there, it's personal, and maybe you can also learn from it. Back then, I was managing 2 countries. I was having branches in Rwanda and branches in Central African Republic. So one thing I learned from working with Zimbabwean, going to Zimbabwe, because I was going that time 3 times a week to Zimbabwe. Imagine you are flying every week, actually 4 times a month. You are flying every Thursday, coming back in another country, let's say on Monday. So what I learned, you shouldn't really stretch yourself a lot. Let's look at let's say like Elon Musk. He's now our trillionaire. How many branches does he have? How many countries does he operate in? His main factories are in Germany. He has factory in Germany, China, and US. 3 countries. Here we're talking about a trillionaire guy. So when you are looking at and this is one of the biggest mistakes many young entrepreneurs will make. We like to stretch ourselves. You need to see, do I really have capacity to serve? Am I not going to overuse or to stretch myself? Am I not going to scatter my resources and find myself? You are finding it difficult to handle all those, because when you are young entrepreneurs, in most cases, and you are still below $1 million, you find most of the decisions depend on you. Most customers know you. Everything, most of the time you find, it is really depending on you. So you find, I was finding it that the time I would go to Zimbabwe, this other side would go down. So at the end of the day, after I did that 2021, and then I had to still sit and say, this is what I've been doing in Zimbabwe. How many people have I really supported? How did I grow? So I found that maybe you might need to go slow. So if there's one thing that really Zimbabwe taught me about, you need to go slow. They say that if you go slow, steady, you might reach far, but if you go fast without really caring on the details, you might end up falling. So one day, after looking back to those, you need to examine yourself. That's also one thing I can advise you. Whatever you are doing, you need to examine yourself every now and then. Say, what did I achieve in this first month? How many people did I serve? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? So if you realize in last year you supported, let's say 1,000 or 2,000 people, or 3,000 or 5,000 people, but now you find this year you only supported 2,000, that's not growth. And if you find you've supported, because I say, okay, I'm running now that time I was now learning 3 countries. I say I'm learning 3 countries. I have companies in the 3 countries. I have staff in the 3 countries. How many people did I support? Because whatever business you are doing, it all comes down to one thing. How many people are you supporting? That's the base. That's the thing. Business is all about supporting, helping, solving human problems. So how many people did you solve their problems? So when I sat down, I say, okay, I see actually, even with having 3 countries, actually the number of the people I'm supporting reduced. So I say, you know what, let me minimize operation. So I had now to focus on 1 country, and the number of the people I supported in that year, I remember the following year, I supported around 10,000 people. So it really matters. Doesn't matter, you might have, as a young entrepreneur, I think you might be excited like as I was when I was, hey, oh, let me, now Zimbabwe, now what, now Benin, now Togo, now everything, now this, now that. You might be well off and do the best work, maybe if you focus on just 1 country. First, make sure have you served those people, everyone in need in that country, because if your service is really good, you still get people from those countries to still come back. And that's what I realized, because I remember in the following year when I say, you know what, because no, actually I did 2020, 2021, 2022, 3 years. Then I said in the year of 2020, I said, you know what, let me focus on 1 country. Guess what? All those people from those countries and even other countries came in that 1 country that I was supporting. So before you think of opening a branch in Zimbabwe or starting something else in another country, you might need to ask yourself, how can I make my services better? And maybe because with the internet and the AI, you can still support people even in other countries. So how can you make your services accessible in other countries without you having to be going there? So that's also one of the lessons that I really learned from there. So another lesson I learned from that Zimbabwe business or Zimbabwe work, the work I did in Zimbabwe really taught me about you are the pillar. You are the pillar. You see, as I can say that, especially when you are still below even $5 million US capital, most of your customers are looking up to you. The minute they don't see you in a week or 2 or 3, or they are seeing you less time compared to the way they were seeing you, don't expect that you serve as many people as you were supporting. So it taught me that actually you, the vision buyer, you are the people looking for. Someone might come to your offices, your centers, your what, and they get support, but still they get assured when they know that he's around. So what I can advise you as a young entrepreneur who wants to really do big things, don't overstretch yourself. Focus in one area. Focus in one country, one city. There is a saying I liked about someone, which he said that if you're not a crocodile in your country, don't expect to be a lizard, to even be a lizard in another country. So you really need to know, have you really supported the people you see around you? So that really matters. And how strong are you? How is your institution? Like you need to really make a very big team in social. Have very committed people who can do the same thing you are doing. Because over the time, what I've come to learn is that until you know that there is someone who can do everything the way you are doing, like someone who is you also need to train leaders. You need to train people who can think like you, do like you, everything like you. So until you have people whom you can say they are a replicate of you, why is Elon Musk comfortable in the US and only visit Germany maybe sometime, or China or whatever? It's because he has got the money and he has the things he has. Let me put it like that. He has really built structures. So you need to learn how to build structures, because until you've learned how to build a very strong system which can operate without you, you shouldn't really think about franchising in other countries or opening branches there. So that's all I learned from Zimbabwe. And if you are planning to start there, the key takeaways I can tell you: look at your capital first. The second thing I will tell you, you need to be outgoing. If you are going to be reserved there, you might not make it. Another thing I can tell you, the way things are done, it's not as fast as maybe for me, from what I'm used to. So you need to be patient. You might get a license after a month, after 2 months. So anyway, those are lessons. Those are things I saw maybe before 3-4 years ago. Maybe they have changed, but I want you to comment below. If you want to start in Zimbabwe, you've started there, I want you to comment below and tell us about your experience.